Woo! All right, let's get this party started. Good morning, everybody. This is Ned over at My Philippine Dreams, N to the E to the D over at blah, blah, blah. Coming at you from Dumaguete City, the city of gentle people here in the Philippines. And as promised, or as threatened, as the case may be, this is going to be a question and answer live stream. It's 9:30 in the morning. It is February 5th, 2019. The first day of the rest of our lives. Yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. Right now it is 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Again, I don't know what that is in Celsius, but it's kind of cool. We got 80% humidity, and it looks like we got some rain coming in. All right, let's see if this thing is actually functioning. It looks like it is. Good morning, everybody. I see Rosemary is here. I see Sasha is here. Big Sasha. Everybody, welcome. And if my audio's not working or anything, please let me know. Pete Kling, let's try to keep the comments civil. Let's not try to get too inappropriate. This is a PG-13 channel, don't forget. I also don't want to get involved in other controversy with other YouTube channels because that's not good for one's spirit and soul. So let's not try to do that. All right, real quick. First up, quick shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you for your continued support. I'm actually going to be doing a video just for you guys, for my Patreon supporters, on relationships in the Philippines, some of my experiences, some of the things I've observed, and I'll be putting that up probably tomorrow. If you guys want, you can join my Patreon. It's a link down in the video description box. Also, as far as questions go, I got a lot of questions, YouTube comments, I get Facebook messages a lot, and I get a lot of emails. People have a lot of questions. And a lot of times they're basic questions like, can I buy a house? Can I own property? How should I approach certain things? You can find answers to nearly all of that in my book, Chasing Your Philippine Dream, An Expat's Guide to the Philippines, available for $10.95. In the video description box, there's a link down there. It's got a 100% money-back guarantee. If you buy it and you don't like it, just email me, myphilippinedreams@gmail.com, and I will give you a prompt refund. I've never had to do that. Actually, I lie. There's one occasion where I had to do that where the guy thought it was actually a physical book and not a PDF document, so I had to give him his money back. Now on to the trivia. I like to give away free stuff. You guys know I like to give away free stuff. So today's trivia question is coming up now. You're going to have to send the answer, the correct answer, to myphilippinedreams@gmail.com. There's no S in Philippine. It's My Philippine Dreams. The English language has evolved and taken words from languages all over the world. Filipino words incorporated into the English language. And I've asked this question before, and I was just talking about this last night, because I'm a one-track record. This Filipino word, this Tagalog word for mountain, refers to someone living deep in the country, in the sticks, if you will. And this is a word that we use in the English language quite a bit. If you know the word, send the answer to myphilippinedreams@gmail.com, and I will send you a free copy of my book, Chasing Your Philippine Dream, An Expat's Guide to the Philippines. Right after this, I'm going to the doctor because I need more antibiotics. Good news. Good news for those who live in Dumaguete City. There was a restaurant that I did a video on like 2 or 3 years ago near Hermojima Apartments, and it was called Lord Byron's. Lord Byron's original location, it was up in Bacolod. And they opened another location down here in Dumaguete. The food was really good, especially the ribs and the cheeseburgers. The only problem was the location. They were like in this little cul-de-sac on the approach to Hermojina Apartments. And I was sad to learn 2 or 3 months ago, that they actually closed down. Good news is they reopened in a much better location. They're actually on Hibbard Avenue, just past Neva's Pizza as you are heading out of the city. And we ate there last night. It was fantastic. We had the chicken kebabs and we had the ribs. And the guy, there was a foreigner sitting across from me, and he actually got the cheeseburger, and I got food envy, and I wish I had gotten the cheeseburger. I asked him after he ate his cheeseburger how it was, and he said it was excellent, so I might be going back there today. So that's good news. All right, so let's get into the weeds on this. Let's get to the actual questions. Let's get to the interaction. I'm going to try to not keep this too... yeah, CB, you are correct. You are correct, actually. You already got it. That is a word that we took from the Filipino language. All right, first question comment comes from Diana V, who says, why, oh why do you live in Dumaguete? Second question, isn't 10,000 pesos rent a tad too expensive for a countryside property? Dumaguete City is not really a countryside area. It is what they call the province. If you live in Luzon, if you're in Manila, the NCR, the National Capital Region, you would refer to Dumaguete as the province. But I like Dumaguete for a couple reasons. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's got all the amenities that you need. The people are nice. The traffic isn't too bad, although it's gotten a little bit worse over the last 5 years. And there's also a link down to an article I wrote about why foreigners love Dumaguete City. And if you want to learn more about that, you can just click on the link and check out the article. And 10,000 pesos for what I have right now is actually on the low side. I was lucky enough that he hasn't raised my rent since I've been here. Actually, that's not true. I lie again. It was 8,000 for the longest time, then he raised it to 10,000, but that's only $36 more. Viork Kapili says, I guess you love Lazada. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I do love Lazada. Lazada is the closest thing. Lazada.com.ph is the closest thing you're going to get to Amazon.com in the Philippines. You can actually order stuff from Amazon, but by the time you factor in shipping charges and any fees they might charge for tariffs for new stuff coming in, you're looking at probably twice the price of what the item actually costs. I love Lazada and I love Shopee. I love getting the messages from the delivery guys, the ninjas. They call themselves the ninjas, and they bring the stuff. And the return process. If you're not satisfied with what you got, the return process is really good. So yeah, I love Lazada. Even though I did the video where I got scammed on the television because I'm an idiot. Don't do what I do. Pat Ahern says, I was 8 months in the Philippines, was bored out of my mind. Yes, I've said this and I will continue to say this. If you don't have something to do, if you don't have a passion to follow while you are living here, things can get rather boring. Don't end up like the guys that are, sitting down in the bars, starting drinking at noontime. That's not good. That's not healthy. And you got to have something to do. And again, in my book, I talk about there's all kinds of things you can do. You can get into scuba diving, snorkeling, underwater photography, above water photography. There's all kinds of stuff to do. Also, the Philippines is in the hub of Southeast Asia. So you can go to New Zealand, Cambodia, Thailand, anywhere you want, Vietnam, anywhere you want to go. Take advantage of it. But yeah, you have to have a passion. And then this goes for everybody. You have to have a passion in your life. You have to have something to follow. Because you guys know, you've heard these stories about people that retire after 30, 40 years in their job and they soon pass away. And maybe that's because they've lost their identity and they've lost their passion. I don't know. All right, moving on. On the Filipinas Got Talent video that I did of that one young lady singing in Dipolog, Daniel Grayson says, girl sings great. But holy cow, I think I saw 4 people get on one scooter behind her. It appears that there are no laws in the Philippines on how many people can be on a scooter. He didn't make any mention of that they were wearing chinelas, which are flip-flops, and that they didn't have helmets on. To which I replied, we don't need no stinking laws. Now let's talk about rules and regulations and lack of enforcement, because this was something I was supposed to talk about yesterday. Dumaguete recently implemented, Luzon ordered them to, fully implement and enforce their helmet law. That lasted for about a week. Everybody went out and bought helmets. Everybody was wearing helmets, and then there was no checkpoints or anything, so people stopped wearing the helmets. Also, Dumaguete has a smoking ban. You're not supposed to smoke in public spaces in Dumaguete or private, restaurants, that type of thing. And that lasted a little longer, actually. That lasted for about a month. And they had these little ninja guys, again, ninjas, going around in plain clothes, giving people tickets. And the tickets were pretty substantial. I think it was 500 pesos for your first infraction, 1,000 pesos thereafter, and then public execution following that. But again, this stuff isn't being enforced now. People aren't wearing helmets. People are smoking all over the place. There's all kinds of rules, regulations, and laws in the Philippines, but sometimes they seem to get selectively enforced. I'm not sure what that's all about. But I am a foreigner living here. I am a guest. And Lawrence Beeler asked, what island is Dumaguete on? Dumaguete is on Negros Island. Negros is split between Negros Oriental, which is the southern part, and Negros Occidental, which is the northern part. On the southern part, they speak one dialect, and on the northern part, they speak a different dialect. And if you don't know the dialect, you can't understand each other. Charles Perry says, I am a doctor. Can I work over there? You have to have a work permit in order to work in the Philippines. You cannot just come over here on a tourist visa and work, and that's something I need to address more. Even doing volunteer stuff on a tourist visa, you can't do that. You also can't solicit funds. You can't ask. Like, I got my spaghetti fests, and I take that money out of, whatever I earn, my earnings, and I spend that on that. I can't go onto YouTube and say, hey, listen, why don't you guys donate money for, I'm going to do another spaghetti fest. Because you can't do work, even volunteer work, in the Philippines on a tourist visa. So if you're a plumber, if you're a doctor, if you're anything like that, you have to have a work permit. Usually it's a company that will hire you, and then they'll take care of getting the work permit for that. But if you are a permanent resident, I believe if you are an SRRV or one of those situations, I think you can work. Somebody please correct me in the comment section below, because I'm not absolutely sure of that. Christopher DeBona says, you need super chat, I would pay. Yeah, I got to set that up at some point. Again, I'm not really doing this for the money. Now Angel's barking in the background, which is not cool. Not cool, dog. On the Christmas 2018 Spaghetti Fest video, A. Jones said, oh, this is serendipitous, coincidental. Are you sure foreigners are not allowed to work in Philippines? I'm sure there are ways to get around that. Yeah, again, you have to have a work permit. You have to be a permanent resident, one of those things. And also, if you're going to come here as a plumber and expect to get the same rate that you're getting in, Australia or the UK or the US, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Sorely disappointed. And the plumbing systems you're going to see here are quite different from the plumbing systems that are used to in your home country. Uncle Ruckus also replied to that saying, no, if you are on a tourist visa, you can't work. Collectibles for You. I forgot what video this was, but Collectibles for You asks, hey Ned, given your 5 years experience in the Philippines, would you say finding marriage partner is the same or more difficult in the States? What is the most difficult aspect of finding a good partner? A unicorn in parentheses. I ask because I'm not seeing my favorite YouTubers' relationships consummating in marriage despite high numbers of eligible women. Please comment and thanks for sharing your life with us. First off, you're welcome. My misadventures are being shared. Don't do what I do don't do what I do. Just do what I say. I usually say good stuff, but I do bad things. For me, in my experience, and this is just in my humble opinion, it's about the same. There are all kinds of eligible women, but and there's all kinds of beautiful women. The Philippines wins, Miss Universe year after year after year. If not winning it outright, they're coming in second or third place. There's all kinds of beautiful women. But finding somebody that you're compatible with, that you click with, somebody that can meet whatever needs beyond beauty that you need, and also the language stuff. It's really important. And again, I've been here 5 years and I haven't learned the language yet. I know a little bit of Bisaya, but I got to do that. So it's a challenge, but it's a challenge anywhere. It's a challenge anywhere to find, that special someone. But I know a lot of guys. And Dumaguete City is basically, it's a family town and it's a college town. It's not a place like Angeles or Cebu where people go to, indulge in extracurricular affairs. It's not that type of place. There's one discotheque here, which is a rather sad discotheque called Why Bother, but I won't get into that. So I don't know if that answers your question or not. I'll be getting into more of that in the Patreon video that I'm going to be putting up, my experiences. But another thing that gets me, and somebody else commented on this on another channel, he wanted to come here to find a simple woman that he can mold and train into the perfect wife. In my experience, and I've mentioned this before, Filipinos can be a little bit stubborn sometimes. They have this saying, God bless our way, and they do things certain ways. And if you're going to try to change them and mold them and train them, good luck with that. Okay, My Philippines Interest, otherwise known as Father Flanky, he left a comment on my channel, which I didn't take down because he's an interesting cat. He says, Philippine Dreams, you're a womanizer and your viewers know this, sexpat, just what Philippines needs. That's interesting coming from you, Frank. Okay, I've had 2 long-term girlfriends in the time that I've been in the Philippines. I've mentioned before what I'm looking for, and that's what I'm looking for. A quick side note off of that, if you're coming to the Philippines just for the woman, and just for the woman alone, and you can't come to appreciate any other positives or rewards for living long term in the Philippines, you're going to be miserable and you're not going to be able to stay here. And there are a number of things that are rewarding about living in the Philippines beyond, just the availability of beautiful women. It's a beautiful country. It's a lot more laid back than in the United States, for example, where everybody's trying to keep up with the Joneses. People are losing sight of appreciation and gratitude. And the cost of living. The cost of living, if you can work remotely, if you can work online, if you can make American dollars or UK pounds or anything like that and spend pesos, that's the best retirement plan that you can actually have. You can max out your IRAs. You can, it's amazing how much money you can save living in the Philippines. But thank you, my Philippines interest, for that. Thank you for the insult. People just come by and insult. On the Christmas 2018 Spaghetti Fest, Tiny Pants, somebody named Tiny Pants said, "The reference you made to the old woman where you said, 'Here's my future wife,' was a put down, and the reference to the kid you told had a flat nose. Your facade of loving the Philippines people really doesn't show," or he says, "really shows not." Mr. Tiny Pants, I appreciate that comment, but I have known both Ate and Yui for many years, and try not to get overly judgmental. And also, if you notice, Yui referred to me as monkey ears. So again, don't get too judgmental. I know these people. I'm not going to just go up to some random person and start, being stupid. Well, unless it's this past Friday night. All right, I got to go to the doctor. Let's check the viewer comments and questions real quick. Wow, there's a lot of comments. We got 162 people watching. Speaking of living there, how happy are they compared to, say, back home in the West and your experience? I'm not sure what you're asking there. Yeah, Jeremy and Jen says, "You don't even have to be retired. I'm 41 with 2 boys and a wife, and we are moving there permanently in November. Luckily, I can work online from anywhere." Yeah, if you can be one of those, I guess they call them digital gurus, and work remotely online, you can save so much money. Buddy Munoz says, "Ned, you're not allowed to joke with people." Yeah, and actually, you got to be careful. You got to be careful joking with people, because a lot of my humor is self-deprecating, which I like because it's poking fun at oneself. But when you get a little too sarcastic, people can interpret it the wrong way. We were talking about Filipino humor a little bit last night, or at least I was. And if you look at like the comedy shows and stuff, it's a lot of slapstick, and they have that weird high-pitched dolphin laugh backtrack in all the comedy shows. So it's a cultural difference in the way humor is put out. How happy are the people is what I mean in the Philippines. Again, I'm not sure what you mean, but generally everybody's kalipay. People are happy. Face Runner asks, "Hookers and cocaine, what's the budget?" I wouldn't know about that, brother. I don't even know. Jeremy and Jen, he's commenting to somebody else, "You don't need a work visa if you are working online." As far as I know, that is true. And yeah, so that's basically what I wanted to do. I just wanted to talk about. Steve Foster says, "Filipinas are the patriots of Miss Universe." Absolutely. And beauty pageants are a big thing here. Whenever there's a local fiesta, a town fiesta, barangay fiesta, they always have beauty pageants. They always have them. An Instigator says, "Can I find work there as a truck driver? If so, what is the pay?" I don't know, maybe like $8 to $10 a day. I think that's what experienced truck drivers would be getting here, and that's on the high zone. Darren Kaniadakis says, "We'll be traveling there in 2 weeks. Can I bring and fly my drone there? Restrictions or license to film our adventures?" Again, I'm talking about rules and regulations. I believe there are regulations that you're supposed to register it somewhere here. I have no idea where you're supposed to register it. You're also not supposed to fly it in cities, but I see drones up all the time over the boulevard, over the city. You go around and there's drones all over the place. So I know that doesn't answer your question. Maybe in this case, it's it's a situation of better to beg for forgiveness than to ask for permission. I don't know. How long to be a permanent resident? Andrew Young asked. There's a couple ways to be a permanent resident. I believe if you get married, I believe that visa considers you a permanent resident, and also the SRRV and the quota visas. I believe those are also considered permanent resident, and you can work. I am not sure. Again, if anybody knows the answer to this, please leave it down in the comment section. Richard Guthrie says, 2 weeks ago I was at Mecdo close to Lee Plaza, and 2 motorcycle cops pulled up and started pulling people over for not wearing a helmet. Yeah, I mean, occasionally they'll set up a checkpoint. But again, if I was the mayor of Dumaguete City and I want to, increase or improve the infrastructure, I'd have checkpoints all the time. I know down like Topolog, you go down to Topolog, some areas of Cebu, you go up there, they got checkpoints all over the place. And the local, barangay, the local town or whatever, is making money off of these fines. Because some of the fines, like the helmet fines, I believe was 1,000 pesos, which in the Philippines, that's a lot of money. That's basically that's a week's pay for somebody who's getting, 200, 250 pesos a day. John McGrew says Spaghetti Fest is fantastic. Yeah, I'm getting ready to do another one. Probably do them at least every other month. So, yeah, we're due. We're pretty much due. We're going to be doing another one. We'll get Bud and everybody. And Jun and Nikki and Nano. All that. Donnie Champagne says Duma also has a couple decent golf courses. I don't know about that because I don't play golf. There are a lot of foreigners that play golf, though. They also got a lot of softball. They got tennis courts here. They got an expat softball team that plays the college teams. And so, yeah. And they got active expat foreigner community here in Dumaguete. It's not super formal, but the great thing about like the softball team is they're interacting with the local population. Maybe they're giving them a different perspective of foreigners that they might have thought about before. So it's good. It's a win-win for all involved. I like it. It works for me. John Tea Party says, this country is Christian. Some take it very seriously. Most are affected by the religion. So those coming over here to just get various women will be disappointed. Their only recourse will end with unmentionable. Yeah. And Cherish Lantow, and thank you for that. Notes, look on Glassdoor or Indeed, and those are 2 websites you can check out. There are many jobs for skilled, educated multinationals in the Philippines. The exception to working in the Philippines, and again, the reason they don't allow tourists to work here is because they want Filipinos to get first dibs on these jobs. But sometimes there's certain foreigners that have certain skills that are needed that they can't find locally, and they'll allow them to come in. They'll get them work permits and all that. For example, the thermal plant, which powers all of Negros, the geothermal plant up past Valencia, there's a lot of Japanese contractors, and they'll usually come in 6-month shifts. And the white vans that you see going up there, you'll see a lot of Japanese in there. Because I guess the Japanese have a lot of experience with geothermal, renewable green energy. George Bacalao says, hey Ned, got to say hi to you at Honeycomb a few weeks back. Yeah, I run into a lot of people. A lot of times I don't know who they are, but that's cool. Corey says, now let me in the gate now. Angel is looking at me suspiciously. I know you're not actually here. But I hope all is well with you and your new family. God bless you, brother. You Trump supporter, you. A Little Busy Beef Arb says, do you shop on Lazada, and what do you feel about the company? Yeah, I mentioned that before. I use Lazada all the time. I love it. It works really well for me. JP says, I know an American tourist going all around the Philippines on a Jeep only. Others are doing it on a theme, vegan only, tricycle only. Any advice? And if I was doing a lot of traveling in the Philippines, I'd want a car. Because it's nice now. It's 80 degrees now. It's not too humid. But once it heats up, man, cruising around on a motorcycle or on a jeepney or on a tricycle long distance, that's pretty rough. Jerry Gamboni says, Ned, when are you going to play your guitar live? I'm actually getting ready to do something because I bought that Thompson Fender Stratocaster replica, and I'm actually going to be playing that and showing off what you can get for a $100 guitar here in the Philippines. Da-da. Yeah, Slipside 64 says if no pension, an SRRV can also be acquired with a monetary deposit in the Philippines. Amount depends on age. I'm not sure on that. I think you have to show ongoing income or something. I'm not absolutely positive. But the best deal right now, if you're going to live long term in the Philippines, not being married outside of the marriage visa, is the military SRRV. They call it the military courtesy SRRV. Unfortunately, though, a buddy of mine was trying to get that, and he was trying to get it through the Cebu office, and he ran into a blockade with him not responding to emails, and I think he finally just gave up. Kevin and Francis Bowman ask, do I need a special driver's license to ride a scooter in Dumaguete? Yeah, when you get your Philippines, on your American license, they never check to make sure I had motorcycle certification. When you get your Philippines driver's license, you're supposed to get that certification. I don't know why, but it's never been an issue. John McGrew says, no aircon, no John. Yeah, that's basically my take at this point. And I was talking to somebody last night, and I was saying, the Philippines is kind of like living in the United States, except their summer is our winter, and our winter is their summer. What I'm saying is, when summertime hits, you're basically staying inside as much as possible for the air conditioning. In the United States, when it's wintertime, you're staying inside a lot because of the heat. You need the heat. So, dude, freaking March, April, May, it gets hot here. And I shouldn't be complaining, I know, because people in Australia are dealing with like 50 Celsius days and stuff. And a lot of foreigners that have come from Thailand to the Philippines say that it's much cooler here compared to certain areas in Thailand. All right, so I've gone on long enough. It's been almost 26 minutes and 31 seconds. Thank you all for participating in the comments. I'll be sending out. I got to send out 6 copies of the ebook because yes, indeed, the Patriots did win the Super Bowl yesterday. Go Pats! They are the Filipinas in Miss Universe. I think they're the most winningest team ever. I'm not sure. I don't watch football, but good for them. Deflategate and all that. And again, thanks for watching. And I'm going to be actually doing another live stream probably because there was a foreigner an American foreigner who recently passed away up in custody in Luzon. He was being held on human trafficking charges. They dismissed the charges. He was awaiting extradition back to the United States. He's been in custody for 6 years, and he died of tuberculosis in an isolation cell. So I'll be doing a video on that at some point. All right, everybody, take care again. Thank you for participating in the process. Keep dreaming, and I'll see you on the flip side. All the best from me and Angel here at Pink House. Peace out.